Hey everybody, I'm live. We're live. Here we are. It's the Bitcoin Otter Show, everybody. Greetings, blessings, and good fortune. And this will play into one of the items I have in the show for us coming up. I have a lot to talk about. You might be thinking, well, hey Otter, you're not on the radio. No, unfortunately, I'm not. I have well, Joe has a situation in the floor. I don't know if you remember, but he got flooded. And due to that flooding, the floor, I guess, is all messed up. I'm hoping there's no mold issues or anything like that. So, Lord willing, all will be well. And Joe will be back on the air with all the goodness and the fun that we have at KCYP, the city, 97.7 FM out of McAllen. So, we'll be back there, Lord willing, next week. For today, we have a few things that I'd like to share with you. Won't be too long. It's not as much of a dynamic show when I'm here in the Otter's Den as opposed to on the radio, which we all love so much. That said, we can talk, right? So I've got the Otter phone here at. Let me get that for you. But while I do, let me tell you about a few things that I've been thinking about this week. And, you know, things come up now and again, and we wonder, wait a minute, where does this lead? So what I'd like to do is I'd like to go forward with at least one or two news items that have come up that we might say, hey, what's going on here? What does it mean for the future kind of thing? So here we go. Here's the Bitcoin Otter line if you want to tune in. Or you want to call and, you know, get on the feed, if you will. 737-256-9339. 737-256-9339. Give us a call. I'll be waiting for your call. I'll have you on, put you on the speaker and all that good stuff, and we'll talk about what you want to talk about. That said, here's something that came up in the news this week. Very interesting story. And again, it'll apply both to the past, the present, well, both to the past and the future. The present is what we're talking about right now. So, you may or may not have heard about it, but there's this company called Connect. It's a K. Konnech, okay? So, apparently they're a software company that stores the voter poll volunteer data. So if you want to go help out in your county and you volunteer to be a poll watcher based on, you know, your desire to help out, you go to your county and you say, hey, I want to help out. I know it's you know, something that you need as far as somebody just to look at the ID. Yeah, the ID, that's a big thing in and of itself, right? Anyway, so you look at IDs, you keep the peace in there, you make sure everything's okay and by the regulations of voting law. That's being a poll watcher / volunteer. So there is a database that is held by this company Connect, right? So they have this CEO, of course, because they're a company. His name is Eugene Yu. He's a Chinese guy. I don't think he's American. I mean, I'm not saying he's Chinese American is what I'm getting at. He's a Chinese citizen. So this gentleman and this company was found having storing. It's in China, right? What can we do about it? The data for these poll watchers is stored on a Chinese computer somewhere. So, you know, whatever you need to sign up for, whatever you need to put in, your name, your address, your date of birth, who knows what kind of personal data you're going to have to put on that application so that they'll review it and then say, yeah, you can come in and you can volunteer or not, right? So all of that data is stored on a server in China. Yeah. But here's another thing. Here's something about this that I want to highlight. And I'm going to go on my screen here and I'm going to read you two headlines from the slimiest news outlet. Okay, one of the slimiest news outlets in the world. You may have heard of it. It's called the New York Times. Okay? So, one New York Times article came and basically had, a, how would you put it? You would probably say a, I'd go ahead and I would say it's damage control. So you would go and you would say, hey, this is damage control. Here's their first one. And this one is from the 3rd of October. We're now on the 13th. But I haven't covered this. It's, I know it's 10 days. But I haven't covered it, so here we go. How a tiny elections company became a conspiracy theory target. Oh my, the victimhood. We got to do the victimhood. We're the New York Times. We need to find a crooked organization and we need to make it a victim because we back crooked organizations. Am I being facetious? Only slightly. Because remember, according to me, the New York Slimes is the slimiest, is in the running for the slimiest news outlet in the world. I have plenty. I have so much information to back that up with. You would definitely turn off the Bitcoin Otter show before hearing the end of it because it would get just endless. They are one of the biggest, if not the biggest problems with mainstream media, the New York Slimes. Now, 10/3 of 22. Boom! They established victimhood. How do you touch an ensconced victim that the New York Slimes has said is a victim? How do you touch that company now? We're in the new era, ladies and gentlemen. We're in the new era, and it got touched. Thankfully, it got touched. So people are learning the truth about Konek. So they had to do something over there at the Slimes. They certainly did have to react. And here's how they reacted. This was on the 4th. Wow, a one-day turnaround. A one-day turnaround for these people. So, the October 5th headline reads this. Election software executive arrested on suspicion of theft. The victim was arrested. How does this happen, Slimes? How does this happen? You've gone out there on that little ledge of yours, and might have been a big one, and you said that, the tiny elections company, it's tiny, and it's being picked on by who? Conspiracy theorists. But you know what? And I think we're all realizing this. The time frame between a conspiracy theory and the truth is ever shortening. Ever shortening. In this particular case, it was less than 24 hours. These rats, and I'm talking about the New York Slimes, these rats have all assets deployed. They have their reporters churning out mess, churning out filth, churning out slime. All of this, all of the time. And sometimes they actually have to recant. That is good. That means patriots are winning. People who are looking for truth are winning. So, I have forgotten to give you all an update on the prices. So, what do we have for prices today, you ask? I'm glad you asked. Bitcoin, $19,396 per one Bitcoin. Gold is $1,673 per 1 ounce of gold. And silver is at $19.13. I would be remiss not to say that silver is a great deal right now. If you decide to buy some, have it sent to your house. Then bury it at your ranch or under a tree. Something. Just hold on to it. Don't accept the paper stuff. Don't accept it when they send you a certificate that says, you have my silver. No, don't do that. You receive the silver. You do with it what you want. Okay, what else do we have here? Oh boy. This, I am what many would call a libertarian, I guess. politically speaking, call me whatever you want. It doesn't bother me. What I do appreciate is liberty. I appreciate freedom. I appreciate your freedom and mine. So if you want to do something and it hurts no one else, go for it. You do you, I'll do me. That's the American way. My estimation, anyway, of the American way. Freedom and liberty for all, including, and most importantly, the individual. Because if there is no freedom for the individual, there's no freedom for anyone. Now, this story, this one here, is a kick right in the bad place. Well, it could be good place. Anyway, it hurts when they kick you there. So, here it is from the Florida Standard. I just chose this by random. They pay me nothing. They pay me nothing. The Florida Standard. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. So, the Florida Standard says, and they're not alone, Pfizer executive, with the colon saying this is what the Pfizer executive said. COVID vaccine was never tested on stopping transmission. Ladies and gents, the truth is outing with velocity, with rapidez, with speed. The truth is coming out, ladies and gentlemen, that the evil, twisted freaks of Pfizer collaborated with the evil, twisted freaks of government to force us to do something that many of us didn't want to do. Now, how are you going to get somebody to do something they don't want to do? Perhaps we'll lie. Perhaps we will spread disinformation, and any truth that comes at the subject, we will call disinformation. Conspiracy theory. So when so many of us, not just Americans, but internationally, we're saying, wait a minute, slow down on this procedure, this medical procedure called a vaccine. Slow down. Slow down a bit. Has it been tested? 8 mice? Look that up. Look that up. I don't want to get into it. I don't want to bore you. But yeah, it was tested on 8 mice. So yeah, it was tested on 8 mice. Let's still slow down a little bit. How long has this been in the market? Can we see the effects of what it has had on people that have undergone this process, this vaccination process? No, you can't. Okay, can I wait? No, you can't wait. You can't wait. Why? Because what you're doing is for others. You're doing it for others. You get this vaccine, and this is what they said in the beginning. We know better. Many of us knew better way ahead of time, but now everybody knows better than what they're telling us. But here's what they told us in the beginning. You won't get COVID. You won't have to worry about giving others COVID because this vaccine works. You'll be safe, they say. You'll be able to keep your job, they say. And many other things that we now know were all lies. So this is just coming out now, okay? They never tested COVID vaccines. This is Pfizer, but I don't expect any of the others to be any better. I'm sure you don't either. So Pfizer now admits. Why? Because they were on some European tribunal. That's the only reason they admitted it. Or maybe she was a watchdog or something. It's incredible the way these things come out. But if you are a person who watches a lot of TV, please do yourself a favor. Befriend a conspiracy theorist. I mean, if you don't like talking to us every day, that's fine. But just have one of us on your phone. Have one of us in your friends list. Be it for calls, emails, or any form of contact. Because as things are coming out now, there will be a deluge in the future when your mind won't be able to process all of the information, much of which will be true. but still to your mind unbelievable because you've been watching TV for a long time. So please find someone who you would consider to be a conspiracy theorist, make their acquaintance, and then, safeguard their contact info because you're going to need them. They're going to be explaining to you the rollout of the truth. It might not be pretty, but we in the truth movement realize that, you know what, I would rather know the ugly truth than a pretty lie, because that pretty lie can kill you. Knowing the ugly truth, you still might die. Possible. But at least you could prepare. At least you could prepare. So yeah, Pfizer never tested their juice on if it could be transmitted from person to person. They don't know. We know. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop a thing. It doesn't stop you from getting COVID. It doesn't stop you from transmitting COVID. It doesn't stop anything. Anyway, here's another one. PayPal is not your pal. PayPal, and this, I believe, came out this week. So it was an evolving story from the beginning of the week. So PayPal comes out with this. They come out with this craziness that says, if we detect you giving out mis or disinformation, we're going to fine you. This is PayPal. This is a payment allocator. So if you don't want to give out your credit card number to a bunch of different retailers or so forth, if you don't want to do that, then you can get with somebody like PayPal, and all your information will be stored with PayPal, and then they will pay on behalf of you, the vendors or whoever it is that you want to do business with. So they're a company. They're not they're not anything that has any authority over anyone in any aspect. So what's the issue here? The issue is they were willing to fine any one of their clients $2,500 if any one of us as a client were to put forth what they determined to be dis or misinformation. So, like millions of others, I canceled. I told them, you know what? I don't want an account with you. Go to you know where. Get out of my face. I don't want to deal with you anymore. And apparently, a lot of other people did the same. How do I know that? Because they recanted. They came back. I'm not going back. We now know their true character. We know they're woke. We know who they play for. We know who they carry water for. And it's certainly not truth. It's certainly not us. So, PayPal, consider getting rid of it. If you want to talk to me about it more, it's bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com. bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com. Or call me at 737-256-9339, the Otter hotline, which you can call right now if you want to talk about some of this stuff. So, here's another one. This is from Fox News. That are not as honest as maybe some of you conservatives think of, because here on the page is this Mr. Brett Baer guy, and oh, is he shifty. Anyway, headline reads, Colorado Secretary of State says office accidentally sent 30,000 voter registration notices to non-citizens. Accidentally, ladies and gentlemen. Colorado accidentally sent 30,000 voter registration notices to illegal aliens. I didn't say non-citizens. No, you know why I didn't say non-citizens? I'll give you a very good reason before everyone gets up in arms. When law is codified, when verbiage is used to describe what laws have been enacted, certain words are used. Some people call it legalese, legal speak, but in the end, it is language used to describe a law. When you look at immigration law, you see the term illegal alien. It's a legal term. Any censorship of that, any censure of that is merely semantics. Someone wanting to censor a legal, binding law upon the government of the United States, because it is upon the government. It is incumbent upon the government to deal with things like illegal aliens. Just want to clear that up. So, Colorado sends 30,000 registration notices. And you might say, well, hey, come on, Otter, it's just registration notices. They're not going to vote. Oh, you think so? I'm confident enough in the apparatus that stole the 2020 election. Yes, I said it. That stole the 2020 election. I'm confident enough in that apparatus that not only will those 30,000 illegal aliens vote, but many, many more will vote. And you know what? Those people are so good at what they do, those illegal aliens will not even have to fill out those registration forms. They won't have to get off of their tukis even to go and vote. Okay? The criminals that orchestrate this stuff are so nice that they don't even make these people get up and vote. They just register their vote. Anyway, they fake it. They lie. And they cheat. That's just who they are. They're so nice, they don't even make you get up to vote. That's how nice they are. So, go and do with that as you would. Here's another one. And I won't be too long. We're already going on about a half an hour. And I'll tell you what, I really appreciate being here with you all. I have a lot of discussions with a lot of people offline about the show. Some suggestions that I do like to take, and I have. And I really appreciate being on. I'm blessed, which brings me, and I'll stop at what I was going to right now. And I want to read everyone the verse of the day. And this means a lot to me. Many verses mean a lot to me, but this one means a lot to me in what it is we're doing right now. This show is an offshoot of a passion of mine, which is cryptocurrency. Okay, so I found in cryptocurrency an escape hatch. And I've told everyone this long before and many times. But if you'll bear with me for a moment, those who are just finally coming to the Otter Show, let me tell you my story. So, short, I realized that Bitcoin especially, but in general, if you make wise choices, cryptocurrency can be an escape hatch to whatever's going to happen to our financial situation. So, in my beginnings, I watched a video, and I've told you about this video before. Her name is Crypto Casey, and she has a great video. It's a couple years old now, but it's great nonetheless. It says 10 things to do before trading crypto. Man, I watched that video. I've watched it multiple times, but it's got really good tips on how to keep yourself safe when you go into this new world of, for me it was new, of cryptocurrency, how to buy it, how to safeguard it, all that good stuff, which of course we at Bitcoin Otter specialize in. So if you can if you're interested, you can go up to bitcoinotter.com. Our website's there. You can go to bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com and send me an email. I'll respond to you. You can contact us in many ways, including calling the line 737-256-9339. That notwithstanding, when I started my book, because Crypto Casey recommends, and I recommend, you don't have any of your passwords, key codes, anything that deals with cryptocurrency, because remember, this is going to be your nest egg. This is going to be part of how you survive this financial, breakdown, whatever you want to call it. So you start out with some sort of notebook, and I had my notebook. I have been blessed to be a person who God reached out at, for me anyway, 26 years of age. I just had a little girl, and I realized that the world was more than me just having fun. So God was kind enough to reach out, grab me, and smack me around. He did that. And I thank him every single day for that. I thank you, Lord. So when God did that, I realized a few things. In fact, I realized many things. But one of them was that when you go into any part of life, you pray on it, first of all, and you also ask God to show you something from His Word, the Bible. So when I went on my cryptocurrency journey, which we're still on, and you're on this with me together, thank you. A verse came to me. It popped in, and I wrote it in my notebook with all my crypto stuff. So this verse goes thusly, and it is from Jeremiah 29:11. I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. You know, the beauty of the Bible, and as you've heard me before, the Bitcoin Otter show and everything we do at Bitcoin Otter is what I would consider a ministry. I am truly trying to serve people. Do people pay me? Of course. I can't do this for free. I have a family. I have obligations, which, you know, we all do. But my rates are very reasonable, and I do believe that if you do come to me, you're going to get more value than what your money has paid for. That being said, when I embarked upon this journey as the Bitcoin Otter, that was one of the verses that I gravitated to. I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. That's not just for me, everyone. That's for you too. And I'm not saying you got to call me to have those plans enacted, or you got to get into cryptocurrency. That's not what I'm saying at all. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is God cares about you. In your place, right here, right now. And He has plans for you. Good ones. Good ones. He has those plans. He has plans to prosper you where you're at. Starting, beginning where you're at. Or perhaps it's already in play. But just please know that. If you take nothing else from the show about the headlines and the craziness in New York and Colorado and all that stuff, then please know that God has plans for you. Plans to prosper you. And He cares about you and your family. These are things that I have found to be truth throughout everything. So, that sidebar is what it is. And I just want to let you know that that's part of what I based Bitcoin Otter on, is the fact that He has plans for me and He has plans for you. And if we can work those out together, all the better. If not, then God is with us. Amen? Amen. Anyway, let's go on to the New York City subways. Ladies and gents, this is not pretty. We all know what's going on in our world if you've been paying attention and turned off your TV for a moment. You'll know what's really going on. So this is the New York Post. Killings in New York subway system skyrocket to highest level in 25 years, even as ridership has plummeted. Ouch. So they're telling us a few things. They're telling us that the New York City subway system is very dangerous. They're telling us that the murders in said subways are the highest in 25 years. And they're telling us that the least amount of people in 25 years are actually traveling the subway, probably as a result. So we have the most murders, the least riders. That means it's pretty bad out there, guys. How does a state like New York, how does it get there? Well, I'll tell you how it gets there. It gets there with guys like Cuomo. He was the former governor. Remember Cuomo? He was the one who put COVID patients in with the old folks' homes. Yeah, what a great individual that person is. And then they got this new one, Kathy Hochul, I think is her name. Oh, she's every bit the communist. So what she does is she allows people basically to just commit a crime and then go on their way. They're basically tying the hands of the police, making sure that they can't protect anybody on the subway because, well, you can't hurt criminals. You can't subdue a criminal to arrest them. You can't keep a criminal in jail because they're only criminals. If you're not in New York, be happy. If you're in New York, think of a plan. Come up with a plan. Maybe get out. That's just me. If not, there's wonderful places in New York. The subway is not one of them. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? I'm saying. So, those are the things that I wanted to share with you. I have shared them with you. I hope that you have gained something out of that. I hope that you're able to see these things. And I was just looking at the key rate here on this apparatus. Anyway, it says keyframe rate too low. So if you're not here live and you're listening to it late, great. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Please contact me if you want to hear something on the show, and hopefully we'll be in the studio again. We'll be live on the air. KCYP The City, 97.7 FM, McAllen, Texas. That being said, thank you all for checking us out. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. I'm the Bitcoin Otter. This was the Bitcoin Otter Show. God bless you. May you and your family be well blessed. Amen. Have a great day.